the tail of the tape. Munoz, 27. Costa is 21. Costa weighed in at under 2 pounds at 153. They both have the same reach advantage at 70 inches.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the next fight of the evening on submission-only grappling super fight. And if it goes a 7-minute duration, it will be declared a draw.
I think
Introducing to you first, in the red corner,
really
standing 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing in at 155 pounds. From Pawtucket, Rhode Island, he's representing Triforce. Make some noise for Santi Munoz. And now, introducing his opponent, standing across from him in the blue corner, standing at 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing in at 153 pounds. From Centerville, Massachusetts, by way of Fortaleza, Brazil, he's representing Daniel Gracie Hyannis. Make some noise for Jose Costa. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this grappling super fight is Tyler Pimento.
Scheduled for a 7-minute round, unless it ends by submission.
Now 7 minutes is a long time, so they need to just find that nice rhythm.
It's funny because with the pace of grappling, 7 minutes can feel like a long time when you're in there, but sometimes it feels too brief. It can be really hard when the only thing in play is the grappling to really set up that finish.
And a lot of times in this cage, it's the strikes that set up the submission attempt.
Yep.
It's interesting too how the cage plays a part. He's locked his hands here, so
there we go. He just
he got the takedown.
He just dumped.
Looked like Costa pulled guard there. Didn't really have a bite on the head for a guillotine, but he must be really comfortable because he's got a bite on both of those overhooks.
I think the other thing was that when his opponent had locked his hands, he knew he's gonna go.
Yeah.
So he had no choice.
Yeah, may as well go in full guard instead of getting up top. Right into side control.
Absolutely. It's interesting too because in play and grappling context, you don't often have the cage in play where you can stack your opponent or use it to defend. Oh, right up into that.
Nice takedown.
Yeah, he used that clip of the leg, the De La Riva attempt, to create a scramble and followed it up. And
that was a great takedown by Costa. Yeah. Wonderful takedown. Now he's trying to pass the guard. Trying to pass the guard on Munoz. Munoz is on a Kimura.
You've got to be careful of a counter here if Jose Costa wants to hop his hips over and float over and try and trap the arm himself.
Yep.
So I think Munoz recognized the potential scramble there.
Wow, that was a wonderful spin. Nice counter.
It's amazing the maneuvers you're willing to put yourself into if you're not worried about getting punched in the face.
Really slick grip fighting from both of them here.
And sometimes it's a game of inches in these grappling-only fights where you're...
It often is. Whoever is able to really get ahead on the grip fight can set up their advancement, whether they're trying to pass or get a submission going. Usually ends up being about the grips than the hips.
Going back to what you were saying, Andy, the cage also could be an advantage and a disadvantage as well. You know what I mean? Where people are used to having these grappling matches right on the mat with no fences around them so they can work off a fence or any type of movements.
Plus getting up after being placed on your back is so much a different game when the cage is in play because you can wall walk up, you don't have to create a scramble like this, but both guys well versed in getting up on the open mat. Look at him already sitting in to try to set up his leg. And that's just the way he was trying to set up that heel hook. It looked like he was going to dive on it and set up the attack while standing and then sit into it. And I just got a little queasy there, anticipating how that might have gone down.
Another interesting dynamic here is because submission is the focus,
Look at that,
people
he's
are a
got the
little
arm.
bit looser with, they're not as worried about ending up on bottom because there's much less consequence, and
Yes.
you can attack top and bottom pretty equally, unlike in MMA.
Yes. Leg lock game it's increased tenfold when you remove the punches.
It's full go.
Sometimes it's the best defense for a leg lock attempt is a hammer fist. Santi Munoz maintaining top position here. And it looks
Like
like
he's trying to bite for an arm.
Looks like Jose Costa was trying to work a sweep there, had Santi Munoz's arm across the side.
I like how Munoz is using the cage to his advantage. It definitely will immobilize the options and hips of his opponent when stacked against it.
Yeah, it doesn't help out the jiu-jitsu aspect, really, when regards of attacking submissions, but it does help the wrestling. Wall wrestling is a totally different game than open mat wrestling, so if you can use the cage to get up, then you can...
Yeah, if I'm
I
Costa, I'm
find the way
definitely...
that he's using it, pardon me, I was going to say, the way that he's using it really also will offset his opponent's offense, preventing him from having the mobility to throw up attacks freely because he's stifled by his neck being compressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's stacking them nice.
If I was Costa, I would definitely try to get my back up to the cage and find a way to maneuver myself to at least try to stand up or somehow end up in some type of mount, whether it's a side mount, top mount. But he's at his...
Well, just like you said, kid, you can tell that Jose Costa's biting on an armbar here, but it's the cage that is preventing that attempt, preventing that left leg from clearing Santi Munoz's head to really isolate that arm. Santi recognizing that, keeping his head pressed against the cage, but you see him trying to buck and elevate, and then Santi Munoz able to get his hips back and remove himself.
Munoz being from
particular
Triforce
position.
and MMA gym, I see he's very savvy in his use of the cage.
Yes, very, very well. Oh,
As you say, Mike, it's I think that it would behoove Costa to consider using the cage
Yeah,
to try to
absolutely.
get up.
Maybe do a flip over there and try to end up
Maybe I
on
spoke
top.
too
There we
soon.
go.
Pendulum sweep.
There we go.
Almost takes the back.
Taking his back.
Not quite. That hook is not in, and Santi Munoz able to just barely prevent that back take.
Yep, he's in side control, which is very, very dangerous right there.
He's in half guard now, able to get that underhook, but Munoz looking like to set up a Darce chain of attacks here. He's got a Darce bite. He's got it clamped on, but he doesn't quite have the angle here, and looks like Jose.
Nice sweep, nice turn.
To get out, but he's still sticking with this front headlock chain, using it to take the back maybe.
All right, there you go.
Roll on
Going to heel roll. Hold. Oh, that's deep. Very good fighting.
Toe hold is deep.
Very deep, but he's fighting. He keeps rolling with it.
Now we might go for a calf slicer. Flexible ankles from Santi Munoz here.
This is incredible.
Really going for this finish in the waning seconds. Going for a knee bar now. That knee might be cleared, so I don't know if that's in jeopardy yet.
I think you're right that it was a little low.
Yep. But still.
Toho still looks like a viable threat, although Santi seems unperturbed.
Yep. It seems like he's kind of just relaxing, and it looks like that's the time of the match. A little bit off from the phone timer and that, but a good attack nonetheless down the stretch from Jose Costa to try to go for the finish. But Santi Munoz aggressive in his own right, maintaining that top position. Exciting match.
We just watched some high level jiu-jitsu, some really deep submission attempts, some crazy scrambles. Like, this was amazing. It's always amazing to watch these grappling matches.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep the doors open for these two. After 7 minutes of grappling, our